thank you for the 100 subs! You guys are awesome. Through the years, many people tried to remake some of the FNAF games, like Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and Sister Location. But I've never seen a remake of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. That is probably because it is regarded as one of the best. And as they say, why fix what ain't broke? So color me surprised when I found this new fan game that just released. It is not only a remake of Five Nights at Freddy's 6, it is also a remake, a Tycoon game, a ransomware, and a nightmare fuel, all at the same time. So why don't we check it out together? This game's opening cutscene tells us to right-click to close our eyes, and that already made me super uncomfortable. Like, the only person crazy enough to close their eyes in a FNAF game is Josh Hutcherson. But when we open them, we find ourselves in the water, on a boat, maybe, with the moon as our only light. Then we get some text explaining what is a Banshee, which is the name of the game. I think I forgot to say that. Well, the Banshee is a creature from Gaelic folklore. It's a ghost that presages death with her screams. And the ocean. Shifting mountains with no end. Howling winds and crashing waves. The barrier between life and death? Are we still talking about the same thing? And with the driest cut I've ever seen, we get to the title screen. And now we can choose between New Game and Tycoon. I'll talk about the Tycoon later. For now, let's click New Game. Oh no, text.
In the 1970s, Fredbear's Family Diner opened to the public, owned by two young entrepreneurs, William Afton and Henry Emily. In the following years, deaths surrounded the franchise, including the disappearances of 4 children and the tragic deaths of co-owners Henry's only daughter and co-owners William's youngest son. Many investigations occurred, and the owners came under heavy scrutiny. But ultimately, all of this was inconclusive. The golden age of the beloved children's franchise was long gone. A new location was opened, but ultimately failed due to bad reputation and lack of funding. Following Henry Emily departing from the franchise, William Afton opened a rental business where he could hire animatronics for parties, which was a success for a short period of time, before Afton and his only daughter disappeared mysteriously. In one seeming final act to bring the franchise back into popularity, over 10 years since the last location closed, Henry Emily has renovated and now-closed Freddy's Pizzeria, which will be opening in just 5 days.
This is the end. Those monsters are only driven by anger and fading memories. It's about time they get put to sleep. After the text barrier, we get a slight jump scare and then we are face to face with our first salvage, much like the original game. Also, there is a salvage before every night. Using the right click, we bring out this thing that seems to belong to Phasmophobia. We can also interact with the tape recorder and the keyboard. Just like in Five Nights at Freddy's 6, we can play the tape to receive instructions from Henry. This time, the salvage is not performed with a questionnaire. While playing this sound, we need to pull the Phasmophobia thingy and watch as the ghost activity becomes stronger. After that, we need to log in the computer what was registered. But here's the catch. If the readings are higher, you gain more money, but you are also more likely to get jump scared. And if the tape glitch, you need to pause it for a while. I think this is a massive improvement over the salvage in Five Nights at Freddy's 6, because it adds a lot more of risk/reward. Although, if there was something from the original that I would have kept, is the animatronics movement, because that was by far the most unsettling thing about the salvage. After logging 3 times, we go to the actual first night. In the office, Henry tells us the mechanics, and they are by far some of the most unique that I've ever seen. First of all, pressing Ctrl, we boot to the PC. To make it work, we have to type specific commands. Yes, with our actual keyboard. That will most likely not be a problem while you're under pressure. That is really freaking cool, because it reminds me of those really old computers, like the Commodore or the MS-DOS.
But let's take a step back. When you first power up the machine, you get a command screen. Nothing unusual. So if you know the load command, let's all say it together. Load quote asterisk quote comma 8 comma 1. Yeah. And you have to do it every single time you want to play something.
The first command is help. It shows the other commands. Duh. Typing CC, we can change the cameras.
That should be all.
But unlike other FNAF games, to change cameras, you have to use the arrow keys. And that is very inconvenient, because you have to take your hand out of the mouse to use the keys. Typing play, you start playing the music on the camera feed you're on. That will be useful later on, not this night. Typing tasks, you open the tasks menu. Unlike in the original game, this game works with hours, 6 AM and you're gone. And the tasks are optional, so instead of having you stare at the computer for what feels like forever, you actually have to do something. I think that's a really nice mechanic, and again, it adds a lot of risk and reward, and also it really compensates multitasking. On night 1, 2 animatronics are active. The first being Afton, and good god! This design is so much better than the Jimmy Neutron that we got. Not only does he have a regular head, but he looks less like an animatronic and more like a costume, which exposes more of his gruesome details. I don't know about you, but I really dig that. He will make his way to your left door, and when he gets there, you just need to stand still looking at him and he will go away. Just like a T-Rex. The second threat can be seen in your office. After some time, the posters will begin to change, and if you notice that, you have to close your eyes to get rid of those illusions. But the game never states what happens if you take too long. So I decided to wait and... Okay, now we received confirmation that the second animatronic is Golden Freddy. After finishing the first night, we get a little cutscene. It reveals that, yes, we are playing as Michael, and it seems that our little brother still holds a grudge. Before going to night 2, I decided to check out the Tycoon. Hey, what is this rectangle? Ah, well, this really sets the deal with the whole ransomware thing. Spinning the statue, there's a hole on her back. Stop. Taking this paper, we read. The old Tycoon has secrets. Look northwest to find your key. Then wait one night and look again. The door will then show. I feel lore. Clicking on the Tycoon. Again, we have to type commands. Well, I decided to check the Tycoon first. And oh wow, now this looks old school. I click new game and...
Hello, valued employee. We welcome you to the Fazbear family with open arms and are excited to see you thrive in your new career path.
Dear fucking god, what have they done to you, Helpy? I'll be really honest, I didn't play much of the Tycoon part, but judging by how it looks and works, it feels very much like an old school simulation game, like The Sims or the movies. Now, who remembers that one? No one? Okay. But I will give a small complaint to the dev. I wasn't able to place any animatronics, because to place them, I need to use the numbers on the numpad. And yes, my keyboard is one of those without a numpad. Why can't we just use the number keys? Well, that doesn't matter a lot, because that's not what I'm here to play. I'm here for what's northwest. Well, that's all we can do for now. Just for curiosity, I decided to check the other commands. 2 of them are just DOS recreations of some minigames, but the one that is really important is the last one. Midnight Motorist. It works just like those old school DOS text-based adventure games. It is very interesting, but I spent quite some time on it, and aside from talking to the characters, I couldn't make any progress. So I'll leave this one for Dawko. Night 2 introduces N-Nerd, in contrast with Five Nights at Freddy's 6, where he's presented as Molten Freddy. But judging by some older art on the developer's page, it seems that at some point, Molten Freddy was going to be in the game, but that idea was scrapped. He'll make his way to your right door, and after looking at him, you gotta pay attention to the lights. If the lights start flickering, you have to look for him on the cameras, and then play the music. Quick tip, you see those symbols on the camera? Those are very useful. Even before a camera fully loads, we can see those symbols. If a camera has this green stickman, then there is an animatronic on that camera. That will help you save a lot of time. Also, when the music's playing, this symbol will appear. Before night 3, I decided to visit the Tycoon again, and I found out that you can click on the title to be directed to Satan himself. I don't know what's up with this, but I was very sure that this static sound playing in the background was Morse code. But I tried using a spectrogram and translating, but I got nothing, so I was wrong. Night 3 introduces Lefty. She is very simple. She will begin approaching your office, but she will not go back. You have to keep playing the music on her camera to slow her down. My strategy for Lefty is to play the music on her camera at the beginning of the night, and also right after playing the music for Ennard. But I also like to check Lefty once every hour to make sure she didn't move, because if she's at your door, you need a lot of luck. Hey, if you're liking the video so far, why don't you like and subscribe? It costs you nothing, and it means the world to me. Night 4 introduces Baby, just as terrifying as ever. Baby's mechanics are kind of confusing at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so difficult. She'll make her way to your office, but it only matters when she is already inside. Yes, she actually gets inside your office. You have to check the direction in which she goes, and then close the corresponding door. You know when to let go due to a sound cue. Although I will say that the sound cues on this game are pretty damn low. I'll be honest, this game is kind of hard. Very hard compared to other Five Nights at Freddy's games. This is probably due to the fact that you have to use your keyboard a lot, and that will get you screwed when you're in a hurry. I especially don't like how you use the keys to move the cameras. I think it's super inconvenient and very slow. But I wouldn't say that is actually unfair. I think this is more like me being butthurt because I died so many times. And finally, Night 5 introduces... nothing? In my case, yes. Actually, Night 5 removes a character, which is Lefty. That is because I didn't get the true ending. To achieve the true ending, you have to solve the secrets of the game. I showed you guys some of it, like the pillar on the Tycoon and the secret clicking on the title. But I didn't get all of it. Shucks. After finishing Night 5, we get a final message from Henry. But this time, things are a little different. While in FNAF 6, Henry expresses that he wishes to end this whole ordeal once and for all. In Banshee, Henry expresses that he is not ready to let go of his daughter, especially after finding out that she is still alive. It is implied that the fire on the pizzeria still happened, but this time, Henry, the puppet, and Mike were not a part of it. At the end credits, it is said that this isn't the end. Henry is lost, and the Banshee will guide him. Which, I suppose that means that the puppet killed him. I am not going to show the true ending because this video is getting pretty long, but I am leaving here a card to the playthrough of the channel Indie Fuel, because he found all the secrets, got the true ending, so you should check it out. So, to finish this video quickly because it's already getting pretty long, Banshee is a fantastic new game that adds a lot to the table, and although some parts could use a little polishing, I'd give this game a 9 out of 10. But what do you guys think? Do you like this game? What other games do you think I should play? Tell me in the comments down below, and hopefully, I'll see you next video. Until then,